jobs report day on Friday, and this is the 2nd of December 2022, 8:25 a.m. Central Time. And as you can see, you're getting a pretty negative reaction, but we'll go into that in just a minute here. I want to remind you that we are finishing up a week now of our Cyber Week sale. I'm going to report again. I've instructed our departments to raise the prices on all my courses by roughly 1/3. That'll take place sometime next week. So if you're interested in my new Outside Day course, which isn't released yet, I'll honor it free with any 1-year subscription. And by the way, I've done this so that between the charting software that you get and the price of the course for a year, that equates to the course being basically free. In other words, it's like if I was going to buy the course, I might as well get his research with it too. That's how I've done it for the Bollinger Band and this. Obviously, the full charting course is much bigger, and I'm going to redo that this year, by the way. It'll go up in price again when I redo it, but it's hours of learning how to chart and all videos, and I'm going to redo it. It'll be gradual, but it'll be redone in 2023 as well. So how do you take advantage of this? Well, it's so darn simple. Number one, all you need to do is move your cursor to the very top up here, and it'll take you right to the page where everything's located, explains how it all works. You take it from there. We've had phenomenal results with it. I appreciate everybody that's decided to take advantage of this. This is your Christmas release if you think about it. And again, any 1-year subscription to my research can be just the videos for futures, just the videos for each Spider ETF, the full research package that I write and give the futures video for, and that's 2 updates a day. All of these include, by the way, my videos over the weekend where I review the markets on a weekly charts. I think you'll find that fascinating, and very specific buy-sell recommendations that I track, keep up with, and all that type. And I explain how they happen. That's the beauty of a video. It's not just saying like so many sources, well, buy here, sell there. I'm showing why to buy, why to sell, where I'm right, where I'm wrong, and I will be. If you're looking for somebody that walks on water, I'm not the guy. If you're looking for somebody that's been around a long time, does practice risk control, does practice what he teaches, away you go with that. Again, simple way, just move your cursor up there and away you go with it. All right, so let's go to this market because it is important. It was a clear miss. The economy, in terms of jobs, is much stronger than thought. Making matters worse, the October number went up too. So let's take a look, and then we'll come back and look at all this. But what are we talking about? 263,000. The numbers were a guesstimate this morning between 170 to 270. Most numbers falling 188 to 200,000 just prior. And all of a sudden you're back to 263. It didn't change the unemployment rate. You can see in October, they added another 23,000 jobs. You kept the unemployment rate, as I said, unchanged. November private sector hired less, but the government hired more. That made up for some of that. The labor participation rate falling. I'll tell you the big surprise when you dive in. Retailing lost jobs. How's that at Christmas time? It doesn't make sense. I don't get where that could have been. Maybe they're counting couriers and things in warehouses. I just don't get how they did that. Hourly average earnings up 0.6%, double what the market expected, and year over year up 5.1%, another 0.5 greater. In other words, a complete miss. Don't pay attention to those that say, oh, it's going to show up later. So far, we haven't seen it show up. In fact, if anything, we heard that in October and the number was worse, and then you'll get the people that come out and say, well, Ira, you are so wrong. You were at 284, now you're at 263. I grant you. That part of it is correct, okay? So what did it do to the market? Well, this is why I teach the way that I do. The market came out, and if you watched it, the Dow was down 350 to 400 points, like that. If you think you can jump on that rail track and get out of the way, shame on you. You can't. That is the problem that you have. Now, the market is recovering a little. That's okay, but what you've done is you've set the pace that will the Fed have to go to 75 basis points in the December 14th meeting. I don't think this report in itself does that, but if the CPI comes in strong, all bets are off at that point. What this probably does is it probably sets up a 50 basis point hike, and the meeting right after the December meeting, most likely another 50 basis point. So will you get to 5.5% as your terminal rate? Probably. It's going to have a 5. I just don't know where in it. I'm pretty confident of that. Keep your eye on over the weekend how OPEC handles what's going on. They have to deal with Russia sending out a massive amount of oil to China, India, Korea, everywhere it can, because the big problem is where they're going to get financing and insurance for the ships after December 5th. And that is when certain of the cap prices will kick in if Europe agrees on all this. And so far, the European Commission has sent to the European Union the tentative proposal, but you've got to get 27 countries to sign off. Today, they came up with one for gas prices. So you got the oil, now you're getting the gas prices. We'll see where they all come in. The dollar up, most currencies getting hit pretty good on the strength of the dollar off this report. In the grain markets, you can see the wheat market getting hit the hardest of everything today. Bonds and notes reacting, not a disaster. They're 20 off the low in the bonds already. I think the market realizes that eventually what will happen is all these interest rate hikes will take place. The problem is, as the Fed chair said, and nobody listens, it's going to be a longer duration. You may not have to go to 75 points, but how far out do we go with 50s, then 25s? I think it's going to be quite a while. It could surprise you into the summer because everything's got so far stickiness to it. And did I not say that before? So once again, want to remind you to take advantage of the Cyber Week sale. Just move your cursor up here at any point. I will see you all, I'm hoping this evening, to put out the weekly edition of our market reviews. I'd like to get it in your hands before rather than after the fact so you can mull it over the weekend. Have a great trading day. I'm Ira Epstein.